Okay, so it's been a super long 2 weeks, and especially today and yesterday, really. And so I decided that rather than writing a blog post, because quite frankly, I'm exhausted, I would just do a video blog. So you're getting me tonight instead of actual writing. And I'm sitting in our laundry room. It's full of laundry because we have had a stomach virus come through in the midst of all this chaos. So, yeah, it's really awesome. And right at the moment, it's like the quietest spot I could find. So here I am. I just wanted to talk about some things that have been happening. It's been a wild ride, for sure. I feel like there's a lot of, it's going to be kind of an emotional post. I feel like there's a lot of judgment and hate, and honestly, I guess I really thought that people were nicer than they are. And I think that I'm super lucky to have the friends and clients and family and just community that we're a part of that is so loving and supportive. And maybe it's just the nature of social media that you forget that there's a person behind a story, and there's so much more than a picture, you know? And it's just really sad, and not even just sad for me or my kids or my husband or whatever it may be. It's sad for our whole world. I mean, where do we get off judging other people's choices in any aspect of their lives? I mean, I don't know, beyond, the basics of just taking care of your kids and trying to do the darn well best you can. It's just sad to me that we can't love each other. I mean, honestly, that's all it takes. Over the last few days, the things that I have read, and we have tried really hard to stay away from the comments on social media, because even though it is super exciting that the picture is shared everywhere and our story is being told everywhere, it's not super exciting to read every Joe Schmo's opinion of our entire lives. And, I've heard a lot, well, you put it out there, you have to take the good with the bad, which is not true. I'm sorry, it's just not true. I don't have to let you be hateful just because I posted a picture online. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. And yes, I can't do anything about your hatefulness, but I don't have to listen to it. I don't. And the reality is, this was totally not intentional. I posted a picture on my own Facebook timeline. That's it. That's how it started. And an innocent little email from Natural Mother Magazine, which, I mean, like, sure, of course you can share it. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It wasn't a big deal. And this is what's happened. I mean, like, really? A conversation with BBC about a bed? I mean, I just don't, I honestly don't get it, because I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I just don't understand how we are so close-minded and so ignorant and I don't mean ignorant in like, you're stupid, I'm gonna play your game kind of ignorant, but ignorant in anthropological terms and in the history of mankind, and in how most of our world lives. I mean, we're being told that because our children do not have their own room, we're abusing them. I mean, think about that for a moment. There are literally children in not just other countries, but in the United States as well, who do not have a home at all, do not have parents at all, do not have food at all, do not have health care, who do not have clothing, who are in a just horrific situations. And it is so entitled for anyone to say that because you don't have a room of your own, you are being abused. It's literally insulting to kids who are abused. I mean, like, think about that for a minute. My kids have bicycles and food and clothes and running water and transportation and parents who, gosh darn it, are doing the very best that they can, who make sure that they have friends and toys and experiences and a science center membership and whatever it is that we feel is important for them to grow up to be loving, compassionate, healthy adults. We're doing the gosh darn best we can to make that happen. So to say that because of where they sleep at night, they should somehow not be, that we're going to screw them up for the rest of their lives, is just so sad. Now, do I know that it's not going to? No, I don't know. I don't know anything as far as that goes. I don't know what their future looks like. I'm sure we'll screw them up somehow. I mean, we're not perfect. Our parents weren't perfect. There are lots of things that our parents did that we do differently as parents. And that's okay too. I mean, it's an ever-evolving thing. We change, we grow, we expand. I don't do things the same way now that I did when my first was 2. I mean, it's different. It's always different. The dynamics of the family change. The dynamics of your health changes. I mean, there's so many factors that go into that make your family what it is and make your kids who they are. And honestly, I'm just taking it one day at a time. And I think there are a lot of us taking it one day at a time. There are a lot of people who, who feel alone and who feel misunderstood and who don't put themselves out there because they know what people will say. Well, you shouldn't have had 5 kids and you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done that. Well, you know what? My kids are literally the light of my life. I mean, sorry. I adore them to no end. And not in a narcissistic, they make me feel like a good person kind of way. They are just amazing humans. They are creative and funny and smart. And they have their own ideas and their own opinions. And they're amazing. Oh, look, like sock Kleenex going on here. They are amazing siblings to each other. They are hard workers. They throw tantrums like the best of them. They punch each other. They fight. They are just kids. But they are pretty darn awesome. And I don't think it's because of anything I've done. And I don't think it's because of anything anyone's done. It's just who they are. And as a general rule, that's how I feel about most kids. I think there is this, untapped potential and this whole world in them, that if you could step back and turn off the adulting that you have to do and just look at the world through the eyes of a child, your whole life would change. And I feel like part of my job as a photographer is doing that. And I'm like so lucky that I get to do that. I get to like photograph babies as they're being born. I get to take a 6-year-old and pretend we're in a magical forest while we take pictures. I mean, kids are just awesome. They just are. And if I get to raise 5 of them, then gosh darn it, I'm going to do the best I can. I am. And if that means that we sleep in one giant bed, like it's a slumber party for a year because it was a really hard year, then that's what we're going to do. Because at the end of it all, when they look back and say, gosh, that year was really hard. Dad was really sick. And he was gone a lot. And Mom was working a lot because she had to take care of the family. We just didn't get a lot of time together. But when we did have time together, it was awesome. We snuggled in bed and watched movies because that's what we could do. Or we took little trips and hung out in our camp chairs while the kids played in the creek because that's what we could do. I mean, I don't know. Is that wrong? I don't know if it is or not. But by golly, it's the only thing I know. So it's what we're going to do. So I just seriously, like, think about who you're talking to and realize that not just our story, any story, people are people. They have feelings and emotions, and the things you say are hurtful if they hear them. And we're trying super hard not to. And I will say, excuse me, that we've had amazing responses from other people. So I cannot tell you how grateful we are for those, because your love is awesome. And it's just when you get caught up in the moment and you're tired and you've got puking kids and your laundry is overflowing and you are reading stupid comments on social media and you think, really? So for those who have shown us love, and for our friends and family who laugh with us and joke about it and understand that we truly love our kids so much and we love each other so much, and that by golly, we're just doing the gosh darn best we can, then they understand, and we appreciate that so much. I feel like I've said that a lot. Anyways, so I totally have to go to bed. I'm like super tired now. But I wanted to get this out there and just remind everybody that we just need to love each other, honestly. We do. We just gotta love one another. And find ways of connecting with each other. Find ways that we are similar instead of different. And build connections based on those things. We don't all have to be the same. We don't. It would be super boring. So even if it's just in one thing, if you can be conscious of that this week and find a way to connect with somebody you normally would not in just one little way that you might not have before, then I really think we can change the world. And I know that sounds totally cheesy, but I do. I think that it's possible if we do that. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to sleep and hopefully catch up on a bunch of editing so my clients still love me when we're done with all of this, and hope that all the stuff settles down now a little bit. It's been crazy and unexpected, and yeah, so winding down hopefully, and just gonna keep blogging and doing family adventures, and maybe I'll do more of these video things. Who knows? So if you hang in there this long, then power to you. But just want to say we appreciate all the love, and we're gonna just keep on keeping on. So have a good night.